Kebab shops have been warned to improve standards immediately after proving they're one of the most dangerous places to buy takeaway food. 1 in 2 produced disastrous results in a Food Authority survey. A state government taking the unusual step of releasing the results midway through its investigation, concerned about consumers' health. Helen Wellings reports.
This is a warning shot across the bow. We want the kebab shops to up their game.
Kebabs fall into the high-risk group of foods.
No wonder they're jokingly referred to as the kebab of courage. Kebabs do have a reputation, and not a good one.
There are unfortunately some dodgy operators in the industry.
The latest tests for dangerous bugs, Salmonella and E. coli, are so alarming, food safety inspectors like microbiologist Craig Andrew Kabalafkas are calling for action.
The consumer is looking at kebab stores and reporting back that they're seeing unsafe food handling practices. And they eat kebabs at all times of day or night. And often at night the standards may change because the regulators aren't around or the people think they can get away with more.
And they have been getting away with dirty practices. The New South Wales Food Authority randomly targeted 25 suburban doner kebab shops. The results are released, even though the tests are only halfway through, because standards are slipping. The government thinks customers and kebab shop owners should be warned now.
That was disturbing. That's why we've intervened.
Less than half the kebab samples pass the test. Standards are slipping because 1 in 2, compared with 1 out of 5 in the previous 2004 survey, were found to be marginal. In other words, downright risky, because they contain small traces of potentially dangerous E. coli bacteria from human or animal waste. 3.6% are unsatisfactory, simply not acceptable, with levels of E. coli bacteria well above the legal limit.
Those that are working below standard need to be outed from the industry. We don't want those businesses.
We can't have that sort of level of marginal category with E. coli present on those premises.
New South Wales Minister for Primary Industries and State Development, Ian MacDonald, says action has already been taken against one high E. coli levels.
We want the kebab shops to up their game, to work with the Food Authority to improve their practices and get rid of and totally eliminate E. coli presence in their work sites.
It's not just dirty premises and unhygienic handling that can cause food poisoning. With kebabs, food authorities say that bugs can be transmitted through the meat itself if it's not cooked properly or if it's left sitting in the tray for long periods of time.
Basically, meat should not be sold unless it's cooked thoroughly at very high temperatures. Secondly, they should not be using knives. They should be using thickness-controlled electric knives that takes human error out of play. And thirdly, they should not be cutting in advance. They should be cutting fresh to order, which ensures no excess meat is sitting inside the tray.
Then properly recooked. Robert Marjan, CEO of the Alibaba kebab chain, one of the good examples out there, has food hygiene and safety down to a fine art. But because anyone can set up a food shop, he believes government should make food handling courses and better safety standards mandatory. Salads can also cause serious food poisoning.
All the salads and dips here are pre-cut and sent to stores, so there's no human contact whatsoever. Secondly, they're stored in refrigerated bars that have to be between 0 and 4 degrees at all times. And thirdly, different utensils are used for the salads than the meats.
So there's no cross-contamination?
None whatsoever.
Right.
The consumer has no way of telling whether food is safe or not. You can't see bacteria.
And that's the trouble. Food authorities and local governments normally won't tell us who the unsafe food culprits are. They might cop penalty notices for filthy premises and food, but most continue to trade.
That is being changed right now in the Parliament. The name and shame legislation will be in place before the mid-year. It will then name these premises that have received PIN notices or penalty notices which are a risk to human health. They will be on the name and shame register and they'll be on it for 2 years.
It's hoped other states will now follow the New South Wales plan to name and shame.
Naming and shaming will help the customer, and so that's a good thing. It's a good thing to name and shame.